Welcome back. Like we've been telling you, a whole bunch of defense stocks are going to be in focus today because the Defense Acquisition Council has once again cleared a big proposal. Actually, it's a bunch of proposals altogether totaling 79,000 crore rupees. And this includes procurement for the Indian Army, Navy, as well as the Air Force. There are certain landing systems, as you just heard Upasana, discuss earlier. And of course, the NAG missile systems as well. A whole bunch of orders will be handed out. So which stocks and which companies can benefit? That's the critical question. We have Jyoti Gupta, who tracks the space very, very closely at Nirmal Bank, joining in for some perspective. Jyoti, thank you for joining in. Season's greetings. Hope you had a great Diwali. So once again, break it down, 79,000. Who is likely to get what? And I think, our colleague Upasana was telling us the bulk of this order is going towards those landing systems. So let's start with the shipyards. Do you think they can be big beneficiaries? And what is your current call on the shipyard stocks?
Good morning, and thank you so much for having me here, and season's greetings to you as well and your family. So, of the 79,000 crores that we know, I think 50% will actually be going to NAG missiles, which will be roughly around, this is the second phase of NAG missiles, because earlier it was around 1,900 crores. So it should be under DSC around the same number, 90 to 2,000 crores. Then you have a large portion going to ground-based alien system, which be around 10,000 crores. And landing platform docks, of course, will have the major chunk, maybe around 28,000 crores. I have my doubts for 60,000. The rest of, because there are quite a bit of items which are there in the 79,000 crores. So 50%, which will actually go to landing platform docks. You have ground-based LN system and NAG missile system. You will have a decent number as well. Could be under DPP going to your high mobility vehicles with material handling, cranes. So that should be again under the DSC a little higher of 2,000 crores, because the lot of activities have shifted from Kashmir to now Creek and Gujarat. So broadly, these so the beneficiaries that I see within defense would be because Larsen Toubro, because I think in your landing dock platforms, the key competition, Mascon is not there. We will see the competition between L&T and Cochin Shipyard, because Hindustan Shipyard has capability, but they've recently received some 28,000 odd crores for FSS. So I think that is one. The other thing is Bell will be a major beneficiary because of your ground-based alien system. You will have, of course, for NAG, you will have VDL, Solar, and Paras, which will benefit, and of course. Bell will also be there, because any electronic items will be taken to Bell and Astra together.
So Jyoti, just to take it step by step, if I start with the NAG's defense system, the missile system, there you're saying it should be Solar Industries, obviously Bharat Dynamics. And I was going through your earnings expectation report as well. Actually, it is these companies, these stocks, which you expect will probably show 20% plus growth even in Q2. And on top of that, they are now set to benefit from these fresh procurement orders. So purely in terms of growth this year, FY26, and even visibility into FY27, from a growth perspective, which are the stocks to watch?
See, the numbers that you see in my annual because these orders are not going to affect your FY26 numbers. You will see a change. Numbers would be affected only by fourth quarter FY27 or FY28. You don't see any production numbers coming from this orders, because this is just an announcement. The orders have yet to come. So you'll have to give another maybe 4 to 5 months for the orders to come in, and then we'll see, production. So definitely FY27, I'm not looking at these numbers. These, what you see, my numbers are do not include these orders.
Okay. Now, from a valuation perspective, risk-reward perspective, how are the shipbuilders placed? Because, some have argued in the past that, in the earlier part of the year, the rally was so dizzying that they've discounted orders, worth the next 5 years or so. I mean, this is, one of the key institutional participants in a conversation with us was saying this, especially on Cochin, for instance. But shipbuilders right now, valuation, order book, etc., do they still make sense? I mean, would you look at buying anything?
I think when you look at shipbuilders, I think the name that comes first to my mind is Larsen Toubro in terms of the kind of, because they are into various products, not, and shipbuilding is one of their, domain expertise as well. And then comes, of course, Cochin Shipyard. But the rest, maybe, I think not as of now.
Okay. What would your top picks be then?
My topics still remains as HAL, which I've been saying, because you will see a surprise factor. I think you should see something like 8 aircrafts being delivered by FY26, 7 to 8. And apart from what the SU engines that they're doing. And next is BEML. Of course, second quarter may not be a great quarter for BEML again because assembly issues. But I think fourth quarter BEML should do well. And while I remain very positive on the electronic companies like Bell, Astra, and data patterns, I see a surprise factor for data patterns. Of course, Astra is another very good company, consistently being performing, but I would rather look at some surprise factors coming from data patterns.
So that's on the electronic warfare systems. What about the missile and the ammunition guys, Bharat Dynamics and all the missile system guys, and how are some of the valuations here? Growth-wise, like I said, this quarter anyway, you are expecting them to outperform with the 20% growth. But what about valuations in the rest of the year?
I think Bharat Dynamics should actually surprise me with better numbers. What I've anticipated is something like a 33% growth in my revenues. This could be even higher. And as far as Bharat Dynamics numbers are concerned, I think I have in next 2 years I've taken what all production the revenue booking has been on a very very optimistic side. And any new orders that come will only start reflecting from the fourth quarter onwards. So unless we should wait for the earnings call to understand how the companies, any guidance, any upside guidance the company is giving. Until then, I think the numbers are what it is right now.
Okay, and very quickly, last 30 seconds, Jyoti. Yesterday, Bharat Forge announced a pretty, significant order. There was that report, right? They're getting into tie-up with Adani, and they'll be doing these carbines for the Indian Army. How significant is that? The stock reacted; it was up 4-5% yesterday.
No. So carbines that's a massive order. I think almost 90% will be done by Bharat Forge, and then there's another company called PLR System, which is a private-based company, which is owned by Adani Systems. So they will do a very small portion of the order. So I don't think that, of course, Bharat Forge is technologically very very savvy in terms of this. So I don't know if there's a joint venture or something, but yeah, Bharat Forge. This is definitely a very positive for Bharat Forge.
Got that. Thank you, Jyoti, for joining in.